Recently, life has taken a complete unexpected turn for me, and it has an impact not only on our family, but it has an impact on this business. So today I'm going to share with you exactly what this unexpected change is and how I am doing or what I'm doing to navigate this transition. So join me.
Bienvenida to Her Dinero Matters, the podcast helping Latinas have increased confidence and control over their finances. I am Jen Hemphill, and over the years, I've been on a mission to empower countless of women like you through this podcast and through my financial counseling services. Now, my expertise isn't just a result of my own life experiences or a few Google searches. I also became an accredited financial counselor that helps me serve you at a higher standard. Now, if you've been liking what you're seeing and hearing, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's get the show started.
So, what is this major life update? And what didn't I see coming? Gracias a Dios, mi salud, todo bien. My health in good shape. So no worries there. But I got offered a job. Yes, I got offered a job. I didn't see that coming. And I'm going to share with you today why I'm making this change, how it's going to impact you, and what I am doing financially, because this is a personal finance podcast. So what am I doing financially and what am I avoiding? Before I get into that, I need to tell you that I have not, if you've been following me for a while, you know this, but maybe you don't know how many years. But I have not had a job, 9-to-5 job, I should say, because I've worked, right? Raised kids, have had part-time jobs, built this business, all this stuff. But I have not had a 9-to-5 job where I have to report in 21 years. Back in 2002, when my oldest was born, we made the decision that I wanted to be at home with my son. I wanted to be there. Being my husband in the military, it just made life easier. So we transitioned from going to 2 incomes to 1 and a baby. Don't ask me how I did that, or how we did that, but we did. I wish I had taken note of what we did. We just made it happen. Yes, there was sacrifice and all that, but we made it happen, which actually has benefited us because we learned to live on 1 income. And so when I started building this business, what I pay myself is extra, right? So it goes to investing, it goes to other savings, it goes to whatever we deem it needs to go to, that maybe that 1 income. On that 1 income, on my husband's income, I should say, we are able to invest, we are able to save. So mine is just the gravy on top. And so we made that decision because, one, in terms of me staying home, I had the experience of having 2 working parents that I didn't see. And being that I married someone in the military, I knew the job was going to take him away here and there, right? Because it's the military. So I wanted to make sure, for me, it was important to be present. And I was fine with that. Even though I wanted to have my cake and eat it too in terms of having a career, I was fine with quitting the job and just being at home. Again, we adjusted to losing one of the incomes, right? And later on, as I mentioned, I wanted to have my cake and eat it too. I wanted to have this, I did want to have a career, but that just came much later. I let that evolve with time because then we had our second son. So that just came with time and just naturally. And that ended up being an entrepreneurship, which I didn't see that coming either. That wasn't in my vocabulary. Having a business was not in my vocabulary. It's nothing that I really saw done. I actually did see my parents have a few businesses with a bakery and a discotheque in Colombia and everything, but that didn't go too well. And so I saw those type of businesses, but I did not envision myself as a business owner. And here I am. And so why did I decide to take this job? Here's the thing. This job is very aligned with what I do. Very aligned with what I do. I have to say that. And when my friend, she tagged me in a post very sneakily. She tagged me in a post saying, hey, look at this. Or she didn't even say anything. It was just, she literally tagged my name and didn't give any context, nothing. I think it was with the hopes that I look at it. And so I sent her a text and I said, listen, I'm not looking for a job, because this was back late December. I had just come off Financially Strong Latina, had a campaign that I was finishing off for the podcast. It had been super busy. Business has been going well. It's been profitable. Things are good. Things are growing. I mean, it's all fine. And so she shared that, and I'm like, okay, I'm not looking for anything. All is good, because I'm thinking, how would I even do this? Even if I was interested. But I was like, I'll probably won't be interested. That's what I thought. So I took a look, and to my surprise, it just caught my attention, because I told my husband, this screams me. This screams who I am to the core, what I value. And again, it was just so aligned. So what is this job? You're probably like, okay, just get on with it. Get on with it. You're talking too much. So this job, what I'll be in charge with, is with a nonprofit organization here locally where I'm at, where we're stationed. And the organization does this beautiful job of supporting the Latino community in a certain sector of where I'm at. That's their focus at this moment. And they support them in different areas, on small business, just different educational programs of the sort. And so they created a new position for financial education. This is new. That's the key. A new position. So I have the opportunity, and I call it an opportunity and a privilege and really an honor, to build something that is going to support our community and actually here at the local level. And it's very meaningful for me. Why do I say that? Because what I do with this podcast, what I do with this business, is very meaningful for me. And it's more, I see it as a more on the national, kind of like national level, because since it's online, I don't always see people. What this job allows me to do is be on the streets running, boots running, or however that phrase goes, and be able to build something, to be able to create something for this organization. That's so meaningful for me. That really, the financial education programs support the donors that support this organization, and be able to collaborate with them to effectively serve our community. So for me, that is huge. Now, it is going to be a challenge, because remember, I'm a military spouse, right? We're only here till the summer of 2025. So I have less than a year and a half to make as much progress as I can possibly make. And I take that challenge on willingly. I'm excited. I am pumped to be able to be doing this work. So that's the why I decided, because it's meaningful. It's so aligned with what I already do. I get to make an impact on a local level. And that's just huge. That's huge for me. Now, I didn't take it just like, I had to think about it, because granted, it does impact family, because they have not seen, they're used to me being around, right? Being my office is at home, has been at home. And now I am going into an office, reporting for duty, if you will. And I have hours and things of that sort. But it also has an impact on this business. Now, am I stopping this business? Absolutely not. Am I stopping this podcast? Absolutely not. Of course, because it is a full-time job, there are some things that I have to scale back, if you will. So I am going to be scaling back on some things to be able to continue to grow this business, and to be able to make sure that I do a good job, because I am committed to this position, and I'm not going to just try to do, I want to make sure they gave me this opportunity, right? They offered me this role, and I take it seriously. So I want to make sure I do a good job. So yes, my business, I have to scale back some things. And so what does that look like? Well, the podcast is going to keep going. That is a thing. There's no way around it. I love doing this podcast. What is going to change is you're going to be seeing more solo episodes. You have seen a little more of solo episodes, and that was that was already in the works before this, but this really pushes me to do more solo episodes, because with the interviews, there's just more logistics, if you will. And I just don't want to be doing interviews at night just because it's tiring. I've also with taking this job, it actually, in a sense, has been a blessing in disguise. And why do I say that? Because it has pushed me to make some decisions that I've been wanting to make to grow, but I hadn't made that decision because either it's been too busy, I was just overwhelmed, whatever the case may be. So I've brought on a new team member to be able to take things that I am no longer able to do and also basically she is helping me create whether content and also help me sell more of my things. If you probably know that you haven't seen me sell more of my things, my digital products, very, here and there, but she's going to make a more conscious effort because I haven't had implemented a strategy because I've been pulled in different directions, speaking, consulting, whatever, this podcast, whatever it may be. So that's been a blessing in disguise because I'm going to be able to grow a certain area of my business that I haven't really been focused on. And that's with my digital products. So I'm excited about that. The other thing, as I mentioned, I have to scale back some things. I'm not going to be taking on a lot of speaking, going to be very selective with consulting projects that come my way. So there's some things are just going to have to give. There's only a certain number of hours in a day. So wanted to share that with you. Now, in terms of finances, let's talk. I'm have this job that is fixed, or make sure for sure. I shouldn't say fixed. It's for sure income. With my business, it's kind of ebbs and flows, right? And this is a fixed amount of income every single month. So what am I doing, right? Am I going to upgrade my living? Nope. Am I going to treat myself a little bit? Possibly, yeah. But really the goal with the income that I bring in from this job is to invest and to put aside, we've got the boys' tuitions. So where I was doing that with my business, this is going to be the focus. With my business, I'll probably be reinvesting in the business for a bit. And then obviously the other stuff I can pay myself. And then what else? So that is in terms of the finances. I definitely am not going to upgrade my living. We've done that in the past. Not necessarily the best decision because then we could be using that money elsewhere. But so that's our choice. Now, the big changes, as I mentioned, it's been 21 years. And so reporting to an office, it's exciting though, because I get to see people where here I'm working at home. And sometimes it does get lonely. I mean, you've got your network of friends that are also online business owners. So you communicate with them. But now I get to work in a team setting. We have meetings, we brainstorm, we collaborate, we do all those things. So that is exciting. But it's also, I have to build my endurance, y'all. Because in business, I didn't work 40 hours a week. Nowhere near 40 hours. So this is going to be new. But again, I'm really excited because the opportunity to serve our community in a local level, the way that I'm getting to do, such an honor, such a privilege, such an opportunity. And I just can't be more thrilled about it. So let me know if you want to hear more behind the scenes as to what's going on. I'm happy to report in some of those things that I can and report in. And so that is the big announcement. So it's been exciting. It's been scary. It's been all of the things, honestly, because this is a huge commitment of time, of effort, just everything. But overall, it's more exciting than anything. Pray for me that I do a great job. Of course, that is the plan. And that was the update. So next week we get to meet, or she's coming back, but we never had a one-on-one interview. So Pan Covarrubias, who is the host of Café con Pan, a podcast that I've been on, and she's fantastic. And we're going to get to explore tapping, also known as the emotional freedom technique, or ETF, and how that actually can help us in the day-to-day life, and especially in managing our overwhelm when it comes to finances or just overwhelm in general. So get ready for that conversation. It's a good one. So that is it. Bueno, pues that is everything. I appreciate you being here, for choosing this podcast today, especially when there's so many to choose from. You can check out the show notes over at jenhemphill.com/390. That is jenhemphill.com/390. Remember that being the reina starts today simply by claiming it. I believe in you, and so should you. Nos hablaremos el próximo jueves. Ciao.